Hello and welcome to the Tea on Sustainable Living podcast, where your hosts,
Hannah
and Brandee, try and help each other navigate the big messy gray area of giving a shit about the planet, and hopefully helping you along the way.
Each episode, we have honest chats about our sustainability fails, sometimes amongst ourselves and sometimes with guests, while also leaving you with a little sprinkle of hope and inspiration to keep on giving a shit.
So, go make yourself a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into the episode. Hello, Give-A-Shitters. This is Brandee.
And this is Hannah.
And you're listening to episode number 12 of the Tea on Sustainable Living podcast.
Ooh, a dozen episodes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dozen. It's a nice even
like
number.
a lot.
And today we are spilling the tea on water. Well, I'm spilling the tea on myself on water.
Yeah.
Because... What?
I was going to there's like a surprising amount of water out today. And it's still raining.
Rainy day. Very appropriate. All the water today.
Very rainy April. Sucks.
It's been hot too.
Yeah, it's been weird. It's been like a week of like really hot weather and then a week of rain and then a week of like, it's weird. It is weird.
Like I'm all for the rain, but like I prefer a gradual like change of the like slowly get warmer or slowly get cool. I don't like the extremes so close together because like I don't know how to like dress and I don't want to have to like stop and look at the weather and like it's just the whole thing.
Yeah. I feel like March was pretty warm as well.
Yes.
So it's been like going backwards. But that's okay. It's fine.
Anyway, I still have, if you listen to our last episode, number 11, neither of us had tea. Hannah had hot chocolate. We're batch recording, so I think she still has the hot chocolate. I still do not have tea. But the tea I want to talk about today...
I just have water.
Just water, okay. The tea I wanted to talk about today is oolong tea. Am I saying that right? I've never actually known the correct way to say it.
Oolong. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. That is an English person's interpretation. An English speaker's interpretation.
And when looking this tea up, I think clarified a bit of my confusion from the fair trade episode. I forget the number, but I'll link it in the show notes about like the project I talked about in that episode. I think was about green leaf tea, and I was really confused. Well, what does that have to do? Is that green tea? Is that like I didn't quite understand it, but I discovered that oolong tea. Well, not only is it a traditional Chinese tea made from the leaves of the Camellia sinensis plant, which is the same plant used to make green tea and black tea. The difference is in how the tea is processed.
Okay.
So
interesting. I
think it's a similar plant to that episode, but it's just oolong tea. It's just the processing makes the tea the tea. Something to do with oxidation and I don't know. I'll leave a link. Won't get too much into that. So oolong tea led me, as it's a traditional Chinese tea, I was trying to find a project in China, but I came across just all of these articles about just general, like, sustainable tea farming practices in China. And, I mean, I'll link, I think I had 3 I was deciding between. I'll link them all, but so I just picked the first one because I liked the title. In China, agroforestry serves up tea with a spoonful of sustainability.
Ooh.
I thought that was a nice title. And what I liked about this title, this article is that they are focusing on, I'm going to just read this, like other tea farmers on Jingmai, the Osmans who are featured in this article use traditional agroforestry principles to tend to their ancient and natural tea gardens, growing other types of native trees alongside their tea trees. The result is a thriving ecosystem rich with rare and endemic flora, insects, etc., that reduces the need for synthetic fertilizers and pesticides, which I really like. They're shade trees. They naturally lose leaves over time, which then adds to the organic matter in the soil, because we know soil is very important. And they don't use pesticides because they're protected by the ecosystem they've created, relying on their natural predators like spiders to help prevent pest outbreaks. And I thought that was really interesting. And it's a pretty in-depth article, and then it goes on later down that was like, they don't do this because of like sustainability practices, really, even though I think the guy featured in this article like studied it. It was a government thing, like they were forced to. So just goes to show that it's a two-pronged approach. Individual change when you can, but also the government change. Like you can only do so much within where you live, depending on your government. Because you do what you have to do to like get by, you have to make money. like farmers in the States don't have an easy time, and you're kind of forced to use things like pesticides to get through the season, to put food on your table. So interesting article. I'll leave it in the show notes.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I will, next time I have room in my little tea shelf, I will buy oolong tea.
Yeah, I was just thinking, have I ever had oolong tea? I know what it is. I mean, didn't know what it was, but I'd like heard of the name.
Yeah, same.
You know, I was like, oh, like it's not an unfamiliar tea by ear. But if I were, I don't know if I know what it was to taste. So yeah, maybe I'll branch out, get some oolong. If anyone knows how that's actually pronounced, if that's the correct pronunciation, send us a voice note.
There you go. Send us a voice note at theteaonsustainableliving.com/contact.
Oh yeah. And let us know. So Brandee, tell me about your penchant for long hot showers.
Oh yeah, that was the idea, the issue that sparked the idea for this episode. I love long hot showers. And I know it's not the most sustainable thing. And
what do you mean by long?
That's a good question, because I was just thinking about this before we recorded, that it's actually not, like, I am limited where I live because I have a small water heater and I have to turn it on, set the temperature, and wait till it's hot, and then I use the water till it runs out. So to me, that has felt indulgent because I'm using all the hot water.
Okay.
But I was thinking earlier, it's really not that much. Like, you've been in my apartment. It's no more. It doesn't last more than like 10 minutes, which I used to take like 20-minute leisurely long hot showers, because it's just, for me, it's just a nice relaxing thing. And especially if I've had a hard day, especially when I was a nurse, I need my 20-minute long hot shower. I've only lived in one place with a bathtub, and even then I hardly used it.
No, I was going to say, I've just moved in somewhere where I have an ensuite with a full bathtub. And I have to admit, I have been using it. And I've also been like, oh, wait, suddenly I feel like this is maybe not that sustainable. I'm like, suddenly from, I'm quite a quick showerer. I would say I'm a very
I was going to ask.
Pretty like practical showerer most of the time. It's a sort of like, wash my hair, clean the parts that need cleaning, clean my body. And like, I'm done. Like, in the morning, I would say it's hard to estimate. I was like going to be like 5 minutes, but it probably is more than that realistically. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we should do that as like a challenge. We should time how long we're actually taking the shower.
Yeah, I think I did that not that long ago. I timed it by songs. Like, sometimes, I don't always, but sometimes I'll put on music and it'll be like 2, maybe 2.5 songs. But something I also remembered that I do, it's become a habit now, I forgot about it, is that in order to have like that enjoyable time where I'm not like actually washing my hair or anything, I'm just like standing under the hot water because it feels nice, is I kind of do, I think it's like a Navy style shower. Like, you like turn the water on, get wet, turn the water off, use your soap. I use the same bar of soap for my hair and body, and then turn the water back on to rinse. Okay. So I do that so that I have the time towards the end to enjoy the hot water before it runs out. So maybe that is like a way I've made it more sustainable without even really
Yeah, that is interesting. Because I definitely never turn the water off while I'm like in the shower. Even if I'm kind of out of the shower to like, soap up, put on shampoo, whatever. Yeah, no, I always have the water running. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, now that you have a garden, you can, well, this applies more to like when you're letting the water warm up. I know it's a popular tip, is to fill it put a bucket in the shower where the water is heating up, and then you can use it for your plants. So that's an idea. But yeah, I think maybe I've been too hard on myself, because I think if I had like a tankless water heater, I would be taking a lot longer showers than 10 minutes.
Yeah, I feel like 10 minutes. I'm going to Google this, but like, what is the average shower length? Yeah. I feel like that for most people, 10 minutes is it, like you saying 10 minutes to me. I'm like, oh, that doesn't seem like a long shower.
Yeah, I think it
seems like
longer.
A pretty standard shower length.
And then I started thinking about dishes. I think it's similar. I think it's easy to think, oh, baths take more water. But yeah, I think depending on the length of your shower, just like dishwashers, people think they're wasteful. But actually, I think hand washing dishes can be more wasteful because if you just leave the water running, like, because by using a bathtub, a dishwasher, etc., you're limited. You're not just, like, you only have so much before you.
So Google has just told me the CDC, Center for Disease Control and Prevention, I think in the States, is that the average shower is 8 minutes long.
That's interesting. And then it's on the CDC.
And then this is like a British website. No, this is American. Saying men shower for an average of 7 minutes while women shower at an average length of 9 minutes.
Interesting. Can you send these links to me and I'll put them in the show notes?
Yeah. An older person of, say, age bracket of 50 years and above showers for 4 to 5 minutes, while teenagers can shower for up to 25 minutes.
Yeah, that was definitely me.
Interesting.
20-minute showers.
Revealed what Brits are really getting up to in the bathroom. We unlock the secrets of the UK's love affair with the shower. Interesting. This is a shower selling website. I'm just, for the listener, I'm just done a Google. None of this is fact checked.
I just Googled.
Take or leave it. But
I just Googled, when is a bath more water efficient than a shower? And what's this article? Sciencefocus.com. How long does a shower have to be to use the same amount of water as a bath? Many believe showering uses less water than filling up a bathtub, but that all depends on, how long you shower for.
How deep your bath is.
True. A bath filled about a third of the way up, which takes the water level over your belly button when you lie down, very specific, requires about 75 liters.
It also depends how big you are.
True. An ordinary electrically heated shower puts out 4 liters per minute, so a 19-minute shower is just more than a bath. If you have a power shower, flow rates could be doubled, and you'll need just 10 minutes. Yeah, it depends on the water flow, too, of the shower head.
I actually came across, a shower. I was, looking to how do you make this more sustainable, because I knew there was, the things you can put on your tap, which, extend, make it more of, a spray, I think, than a continuous stream, which makes it more environmentally friendly because you've got more surface area. And I found a shower head. I'll also put this in the show notes. I was looking for myself, which seemed to be it made the holes smaller and then the surface area wider. So it increased the pressure of the shower and the amount of water you were receiving by using less water, because it was forcing it through smaller holes.
Cool.
So it would feel like you were having a more powerful shower.
Which after
while you went, actually. So I'll see if I can find that as well. And then then I've just got this random page of statistics from about Brits. Apparently average 7 to 8 minutes as well. Consistent. Wales is number 1 on the Clean League. Apparently taking the most amount of people have a bath or shower once a day.
See, that's the other thing. I don't shower every day. In the summer, I'll do probably a rinse every day towards the end of the day because it's just so hot. But I work from home. I am not an athlete. I don't go to the gym. I see no need to shower every day. I think there's a general, cleanliness obsession, or this neater idea that if you'd have to shower every day, and if you don't, it's gross. But I mean, I know we've come a long way since the days of, bathing in rivers once a week, but I just don't think most people get dirty enough to take a shower every day. So I think every other day works for me. So that's another way I offset these long hot showers, or what feels long and wasteful in my head.
Yeah,
so
which
I don't do them every day.
Discovering is really not that much above the average.
Yeah,
a 10-minute shower.
But what I do struggle with, and it took me a long time to turn off the tap while brushing my teeth. I don't know why that was such a problem for me.
Interesting.
Because I think I don't remember if it was a thing growing up, if I was told off for wasting water, or if nobody cared. I don't remember if it was a thing, a childhood thing. But I know that as an adult, I struggled. Either I never listened to my parents, or I was never told.
I feel like that's something I'm pretty good at. But actually, most of the time, if if I'm having a shower, I'll brush my teeth in the shower.
I've heard of people that do that. That feels weird to me.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just like, especially normally I would have a shower in the morning. I'm like a morning showerer.
Oh,
and I would, brush my teeth in the shower. Like the ultimate multitasking.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is weird.
But I feel like I've heard that before. So if it's weird, it can't be that weird because it's not the first time I've heard it. But yeah, I think I finally turn the water off like I do when I take a shower. I like rinse the brush. I always have to rinse it first. I don't know why. And then I put the toothpaste on because I stopped using the tooth tabs because the Dr. Bronner's toothpaste is just so much nicer. So I'll just only use the tooth tabs now when traveling because it doesn't count as a liquid. Anyway, not the point. I rinse the toothbrush, turn off the water, put the toothpaste on, and then the water stays off until I'm ready to rinse.
Yeah, same.
So I think I'm good there.
I'm just looking at this statistic, actually, this page of statistics. And it says that 7% of UK adults brush their teeth in the shower. So I'm one of a select few. Even more people, 10% of UK adults sing in the shower, apparently. Do you sing in the shower, Brandee?
When I'm listening to music, certain music that I feel like singing to. I feel like I think I have a shower, like a sing playlist for when I feel like. But I know the walls are thin here, and I don't, like, I have neighbors who I also like to sing, and I find it annoying when it's like all the time. Occasionally, oh, it's nice, they're singing. Their voice isn't awful. But I think I'm aware of that too. Like if I lived in the middle of nowhere, I might do it more. But I don't want to annoy my neighbors too much.
This is all like not getting on about sustainability, but I'm just looking at these statistics. Apparently people use their phone in the shower? Do you use your phone in the shower?
No. If I'm listening to music, sometimes I'll listen to podcasts.
Maybe that counts if you're listening to music as using your phone in the shower.
Well, I know there are things you can get to like. Maybe it's not a way to put your phone in the shower. There's like waterproof speaker. There's like all sorts of waterproof tech you can have in the shower. But I'll leave it like on the shelf right outside the shower, and then I might like dry my hand on the towel first, and then like turn the volume up or skip to the next song.
Yeah,
but it's not in the phone's not in the shower.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's not what they're referring to. That's like the image I had at first. It is true though. I've been finding now I've got this bath. I will use my phone when I'm in the bath.
Just be careful, don't drop it in, because
then
you'd have to get a new phone.
Myself now, and that's very much not sustainable.
Or is it the tub? Could you get one of those like
those like barrier thing, like the little fancy like wooden
shelf thing? Yeah, wooden thing to prop up a book and a glass of wine that you see on like Pinterest,
Instagram,
yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll get that.
Maybe something with like what's the word, like ridges or something to prevent it from like slipping off.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely like playing with fire, water.
When I did have a bath, I would clean the bathroom so I would know it was clean, but it was like kind of an older, do you know, like when you have an older bathroom, even when it's clean, it just doesn't feel clean.
Yeah.
So I would only take a bath when I would, maybe once every month tops, maybe every other month, I would fill it with hot water and vinegar and let it sit for a while and then drain it and then take a bath in it in the clean tub, which sounds wasteful, 2 tubfuls, but I didn't do that very often because I couldn't be bothered to
clean them.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
To do a deep enough clean that I felt like, okay, I can take a bath and not think about whether it feels clean despite just having cleaned it. Anyway.
That's an interesting one, isn't it? Because I mean, that kind of plays in like, well, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I was just going to say like that, it was just that the bath didn't look clean, right? I mean, you knew it was a clean bath.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, why was it so off-putting?
Maybe
the fact
just
that it did, it looked a bit. I mean, I don't know how
maybe
the bath
because it
looked.
wasn't. I could never get it that like bright white. It just felt like it was just a bit dingy and old, and just could never get it to look clean.
That's an interesting. Like, this is like going off on a tangent, but I feel like that's kind of maybe something that with like some environmental stuff or some sustainable stuff like might end up being like an issue, right? Because we've got these like very strong ideas of like what cleanliness like looks like or smells like.
Yeah, true. Like back when I was saying about
like
my
you know the kind
everyday,
of like
every other day showers.
right, exactly, like having a shower every day, or like you know if there's like a strong bleach smell, you know that immediately smells kind of clean, or certain smell like scents. And I guess I don't know. I mean, you use a lot more like I think homemade cleaning products than I do.
I just use vinegar and water.
But like, do you find that cleans as well as like a commercial product might?
Yeah, I think the difference is instead of like that strong chemical smell in your bathroom after cleaning it, just focusing on the bathroom, it smells a little bit like pickles. Well, I mix apple cider vinegar and water, so it smells like apple cider vinegar for a little bit, and then once it dries, it doesn't smell like anything.
Yeah.
But for those like heavy, like chemical heavy products, I think the target audience there is people who want to decontaminate everything. Water and vinegar doesn't like, I might kill some germs, but that's not why I'm using it. It's just cleaning the surface, making the mirror look clean. It's good at like, the soap I use is like, especially when I use Castile soap, it can leave like a film and the vinegar cuts right through that. So it cleans. It's not a disinfectant. It cleans surfaces, and I feel fine about it. My shower does have white grout. I hate white grout. That is a design thing that I would push for in a new house is black or gray grout, so that it's that dingy white thing again. Like I'm not going to spend the time to like scrub and get it to be like bright white grout. I don't care. It's so annoying. It's the cleaning thing I put off to the last because I hate doing it. I don't care, but then it bothers me.
Right. So you do kind of.
So not that I don't care. So yeah. So that's I. It's not that I don't care. It's that I guess I don't care enough to like put the time and energy to like make it clean.
Right.
Because it's a chore to like go in and scrub like between every tile.
Yeah,
and
grout is the worst.
And I have big tiles, so I don't know. Am I lazy? I don't know. I hate white grout. I hate it. But anyway, back to the wasteful water. One area I do still struggle with is dishes. And since moving to Europe, I've noticed that in America, dishwashers, very big in like, they're in every house, but also, the size is massive and probably too big. But I did live in a couple places in the States without one. So I've gotten pretty good at, I don't have one now. So I've gotten used to hand washing. Dishes? Yeah, hand washing. But I think I waste too much water. Because something that was like a weird and new concept to me was like having a plastic tub in the sink to collect the water and wash the dishes in. Like, and I still like struggle with like, how does that actually work? Because if you're cleaning dirty dishes in the same tub of water, well, then you're cleaning with dirty water.
Yeah.
But is it really that dirty? Does that go back to the idea of like what's dirty versus clean? I don't know. And I just don't understand like how it works. The actual, like, it's just so easy for me to just, I will sometimes realize I'm wasting water, turn the water off, rinse the dishes, turn the water off, wash everything, like get it all soapy, and then turn the water back on to rinse. So I'm trying to be better about that, but I just don't understand the workflow, I guess, of like the tub, because I put my dishes in the sink. Sometimes I'll like put the water on to soak, but then how does that work if you have then a tub and like, I guess I just don't get the workflow because it's unfamiliar to me, and it's probably a silly thing. I'm sure I would figure it out. I'm a smart person.
It is interesting though, because I feel like I grew up with the bucket in the sink. Maybe this is a British thing. Is it a British thing?
But I feel like
maybe are you European? I don't know.
British, European, I don't know. But I think that's a key element. Like
filling up the sink, and then you wash the dishes, and then I grew up in a big family, so you might have to have like several. The water would get dirty, and then you'd have to refill with new water, and then continue.
So do you just stack the dishes up next to the sink?
Yeah, mostly next to this. Yeah, next to the sink, and then you would wash. But I don't know if it's like super clean. And then now I think like as an individual, I have like so few plates to wash. I do normally do it the tap's running. Clean a dish at a time under the running tap, which is probably not the best way to do it. But I mean, if you were doing that, I grew up like I'm one of 4 kids, family of 6. We did have like a dishwasher for a couple of years, but basically we didn't have a dishwasher. So that's like a lot of dishes.
Yeah.
A lot
and
of
I
dishes.
have very limited counter space, so the idea of just like having the dishes pile up in that little like small area of like prep space for dishes while the sink is just there empty. Like
well, that's the thing I was trying to think though, because I feel like we did also, it depends who's on like charge. Like my mum would have like when my mum's cooking, she'll have like the sink full, soapy water in the sink, and would like go like kind of washing up as she goes and like putting plates directly into the water.
And having them sit there until she's
kind
ready
of
to wash
soaking
them.
And then like maybe when it's coming, and then washing as she goes, or like maybe if it's got kind of gross, if she hasn't been washing them, then like let out the water and put a new thing of water in. I actually I did a work away several years ago, and that was a very interesting / bizarre. I don't think I could do this. It was like a washing up system, and I think a lot of people felt quite uncomfortable with it. I was okay doing it for just like a couple of weeks because it wasn't, my house. So this guy was it was like work away, like on in like a village in the south of Spain, working collecting almonds, and staying this really interesting older guy who was very concerned with like very like quite interesting like eco-friendly methods, but very like home, nothing like fancy, but quite interesting. For example, this isn't water related, but one thing that he did was we would like start cooking rice, for example, like the night before, and then as soon as the water was boiling, we'd take it off the hob, and he had like a plastic tub filled with blankets, and then just putting the pot inside the blankets and covering them up. And then the next day at lunchtime, the rice would be like completely cooked. So as a way of saving energy. And he had this method that he wanted us all to do for washing dishes, which was like really using very little water. And I think was like very out of a lot of people's comfort zone. Like it was something that people kind of like some of the other volunteers were like complaining about. Because he wanted, I'm trying to think of the exact step. There was like kind of 3 steps. I think he wanted us to like use like a tiny amount of water to rinse off the plate, but as in like open the tap, let like a drop of water onto the plate, and then like use our fingers actually. Like there wasn't even a rag to like clean off the obvious dirt. And then he had like a half full tub where you could then like dunk once they'd been like the surface had been cleaned off, like a dunk, and then rinse inside the bucket and then like kind of shake it off and then like put it to dry. Or like no, but there was another step. There was like the step with there was like a step which had the soap in, because I think the bucket, the last rinse bucket, was the idea was that it wouldn't get soapy because then it was easier to reuse. For
But how do you keep soap out of a rinse bucket?
Yeah, I think it was like and then there was like you like rinse the soap off into the, because it was like the bucket and there was a space next to it for the, it didn't take up the whole sink.
That's
but it was
thing.
like
I have a
very
small...
minimal and very like specific and very out of, that's the thing when we talk about sometimes, like obliging people to do something.
Yeah.
I think it was like very much out of, including myself. Like I wasn't like, I think I'm fairly good at conforming to what people want, and I'm not like super, I guess I'm not someone who's like very, very conscious of like germs. It's not something that bothers. I mean, obviously I want things to be clean, but I'm not, there are different levels of how concerned people are for various reasons, which are completely fine. But yeah, that was very water conscious, but perhaps too far.
To the extreme.
Yeah, very much to the extreme end.
I'm sure, yeah, for him that felt normal, but
right, exactly. It was not for most people. I think that was something that made, was definitely a bit of a tension area.
And I think it's easy to, I think this used to be me. It's easy to think, well, water, it's a renewable resource. It's not like oil. So what's the deal? We'll just get more of it. But I think with climate change, we're facing more and more droughts that it is a renewable resource, but it's a bit more nuanced and complicated than that, because to reuse water, you have to treat it and have it be safe and clean enough to send back out into your taps. So I'm always fascinated when I watch the like tiny house or off the grid videos on YouTube, people living in kind of homesteads and tiny houses or in vans or whatever, is the way they capture and reuse water. They have gray water, they collect rainwater, they just all of these systems. Yeah. And then it puts it into perspective, because what I'm getting at, that to try to like appreciate it a bit more, not waste it.
And I mean, I think that's like an element as well, isn't it? Like what I was talking about with the shower and what you just said about like the design element. Like we can design our household, you know, what we use to use less water, you know, like I remember quite recently we had a conversation, us and like Ellie as well, and you were talking about how in the States the amount of water in the toilet is like so much more. Was that with you? It was definitely with Ellie.
Our friend Ellie, who I want to bring on, because she's always been someone who, she is great as a person in general, but and I don't know if she's done this for sustainability reasons, but she's like bringing water in like a reused jar, and so I think she'd be fun to have on and just chat and see, I don't know, what her general sustainability struggles are. But anyway, I've had this thought. I don't remember if I was a part of this conversation.
Yeah, it was like, she was like, this is getting a bit like TMI, but she was like saying about how like it took her a while to get used to like the fact that, oh no, it was with someone else. Someone else was saying they thought that there was something really wrong with them when they moved to like Europe, because they felt like the toilet bowl was never clean and they were always having to like clean it, right? You know, because stuff gets stuck sometimes on the side. And then we ended up realizing, and this was like for me mind blowing, is like because the toilet bowls in the States have like a lot more water in them. Like it's very rare for something to, you know, get stuck on the side. Have your own image. Whereas I was like, well, I don't know, like those are the kind of toilets I've grown up with, you know, like
you learn how to
sit it is what it is
back on the toilet.
Like, you know, there isn't much water in them. Like there's enough. I didn't, you know, it's not something I really thought about. And you just have a little toilet brush, and if you need to give it a quick clean after you've used the toilet, then you give it a quick clean.
Yeah, something I've noticed and thought of. There's definitely more toilet bowl to clean, because the water level is so low. It's what, 5 extra or 10 extra seconds, but it's like, oh, okay, it's more of a thing. It's not just a quick swipe of the brush around like the top. It's like, oh no, I have to clean like pretty much the whole bowl.
So that's like an interesting like design thing. And, you know, again, with toilets, you can even just put like a brick inside the canister at the top, or you can get, you know, things in them to like reduce the amount of water that's being used to flush, because most of the time we don't actually need as much water as we flush with. So if you put something in there, then that like reduces the amount of water, you know. Yeah.
And what I like that about Europe, I've never noticed it in the States, I don't think it's a thing, is that there's options for how much water to use based on your toileting needs. There's an option to use less water, an option to use more. I'll let you put it together, what's for what. And I like that. If you don't need the like full blast of water, why need to? Yeah. Or do you even need to flush it all? This might be gross or TMI, but I learned from my first roommate in California. She had a kind of a, not a rule. She was like, this is how I do it. If you don't want to, you don't. If it's yellow, let it mellow. I don't know if you've heard that before. Yeah. And yes, so living alone, it's very easy for me to just decide that's just how I do it.
Yeah.
But I like that she didn't like put that on me, but I felt more comfortable. I mean, we shared a bathroom, so it was more her letting me know that that's how she did it, and I don't have to, but I
mean, that's
might
an interesting
notice
one.
some. I might notice. So I guess in a way it was.
You'd have to,
she wasn't
it.
I would have to encounter it. She wasn't mandating, like she wasn't saying I had to do it that way. But yeah, she was kind of. Yeah, I did have to encounter it. But anyway, speaking to it, something else I do that will probably seem gross because it has grossed other people out. There's this I think she's started as a food blogger. What's the website? I think Zero Waste Chef, Anne Marie something. I'll leave a link. She talked about wee rags in some blog post, or maybe it was on Instagram. I can't remember. About when she only has to go number one. She has used like old cloths from I don't know, old t-shirts or just old like cloth that she couldn't use for whatever its original purpose was, and she would use that as her toilet paper and wash that with the rest of her towels. And so I started doing that. Just old, what do I have? Old underwear, old leggings that didn't fit anymore. And I've cut them all up and, use them as wee rags.
How do you manage that smell-wise? Do you just have like a little container?
Just a container. It's on the floor behind the trash can.
Okay.
With like a lid? The smell. No.
Interesting.
I've never noticed the smell, and I just throw it in with the rest of my bath towels.
I mean, in a way, you know, like it's true at first you're like, oh, it's weird, you know, it's again, it goes against what we've taught. But
urine is sterile. But urine is sterile.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, I use like period underwear.
Yeah.
You know, like baby cloth nappies, like, you know, for quite a long time cloth has been a way of cleaning.
We've gotten so used to like convenience because it is a little bit extra of a step to clean and reuse these things, but not really. Yeah, the cloth diapers that came up in my chat with Kelly, which is interesting. And it just seems like a lot of work, so I don't fault anyone that does not go that route because I don't think I would. But anyway, we're getting a bit long on this episode. Yeah. So final thoughts on water. With the dishes thing, I've tried plugs in the sink and I can't find one that fits, that doesn't like let the water drain through. So that defeats the point. Maybe I'll try the plastic bucket thing, but then that's buying a plastic bucket. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the secondhand shops near your new place have plastic buckets I can use and try that.
Probably, yeah.
Try that method. I don't know. Give that a go. Stop feeling so guilty about the showers because I enjoy them and they're probably not that long in comparison, to the teenagers. What was it, 20 to 25 minutes?
Yeah.
Do you have any final thoughts about water?
Really? I mean, it's very easy to use water.
Yes.
And it's very easy, like you said, to think that it's reusable. I mean, like just like an endless...
A renewable, endless resource, yeah.
At least in the West, I mean, we have so much easy access to water. And
True.
I mean, we haven't even touched on that, but there's so many parts of the world where you don't have easy access to clean water. Absolutely. So we have an abundance of clean, fresh water at our fingertips.
Mm-hmm. My favorite charity is Charity Water. I'll leave a link because I love what they're doing, trying to get clean water access to the world, basically. Building wells and etc. So it's very easy to lose perspective about that.
And I mean, and that's great. I mean, we should have access to clean. I mean, everyone should have access.
It's a human
that.
right. Yeah,
absolutely. And so it's not wrong for us to use it, but it is true that maybe we have to. You know, we've got so used to it being. You know, I've never been in a situation where I've never had access to water. Or that it's been difficult or it's not been clean. So
I think we'll leave a bunch of links in the show notes of like small things you can do in various parts of your home to try to use less of it. But I'll try to leave some resources to help kind of, just reshape the way you think.
All right.
To reshape your relationship with water, to rethink your relationship with water and trying to view it as a more valuable of a resource than most of us do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And other exciting things.
If you're team shower or team bath.
Oh yeah, team shower, team bath. Let us know.
How long do you shower for? We should do a poll on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
how long is your shower?
It's a good idea. I'm trying to be a bit more active. I've started creating a bit more posts based on episodes, and so that'd be a good idea. Poll. How long is your average shower? Maybe doing like a quiz, tying in stats. Yeah. Like, what do you think? How many liters are used per the average? Yeah, good idea. Some other exciting things that I have on my mind. I don't know if I'll make them happen. Thinking about starting an email list for the podcast, and like it would just send out basically the show notes and here's the links, all the resources in your inbox. Because when you're listening to the episode, maybe you're not in a place to like stop and look up things. So it'll be maybe in your inbox. And then I made wallpapers for phone and computer. I'll send you version 1, round 1 of them, see what you think.
It's exciting.
It is. I think the phone wallpapers I'll just maybe post in like Instagram stories and people can screenshot. And then maybe the desktop ones will be like sign up for the email. I don't know. Yeah, listeners, let us know what would be interesting if you would like that. Playing around with the designs, having fun with it. I'm also thinking about creating some sort of like guide. I don't know, like how to give more of a shit, how to be a better give a shitter, somehow playing on those words of just like
better give a shitter. I mean,
somewhere along those lines. Maybe not specific things of like take a 5-minute shower, but maybe just general ways of. I don't know. I'm playing around with the ideas. I'll send you other ideas I jotted down, and we'll try to come up with something fun for you, listener, to download and get value out of, and then get the show notes and resources in your inbox. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. All right. Till next time. See you later.
Bye. See you later. Wow. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Tea on Sustainable Living podcast. If you made it to the end, we can only assume that you've enjoyed this episode.
Please consider sharing this with a friend or family member who could use some support on their sustainability journey.
And find us on Instagram at the Tea on Sustainable Living and let us know what you liked about the episode.
All right, give a shitters. See you later. Get it? See you later, as in see you later. So funny.
Why?